Welcome everyone! Have you had a great summer vacation? Are you looking for just a little bit more adventure and excitement? Well, you've come to the right place. Our road trip is filled with excitement, places to go, sights to see, things to do. So pack your bags and get ready to have some fun as we hit the road for our summer road trip.
In this challenge, a player must sort the M&Ms from the Skittles. The challenge? They may not use their hands. First person to complete the sort is the winner. Warning, this challenge is not for the squeamish. It involves a lot of saliva. Don't say we didn't warn you. Two contestants take the stage today. Contestant number 1 is Jackson. Jackson is a musician. He plays ukulele, mandolin, guitar, upright bass, and has won awards for his kazoo. He is currently learning to play the harmonica, the harpsichord, and spoons. Contestant number 2 is Wyatt. Hailing from San Francisco, California, Wyatt played defensive tackle for the 49ers alongside teammate Joe Montana. Now retired from the NFL, Wyatt and Joe regularly hang out at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse with their families. Wyatt has 18 children. Let's see how our contestants do. In order to win the challenge, our contestants had to follow rules. As we grow through life, we will face all kinds of situations that are governed by rules. These are rules for the classroom, rules for the bus, rules for games we play. Everywhere we turn, there are rules to follow. Rules are in place to help us achieve a successful outcome. The Israelites were given rules to guide their behavior. These rules were called the 10 Commandments. If you want to be successful in life, you must follow the rules God has given you in His Word.
Hi everyone, this is Mr. Naeem, and welcome to our tour of the Virginia Beach Aquarium. I went to go check out all the sea life that they have there, because I probably haven't been in about 10 years, and there's more than likely so many new fish and animals that I haven't seen before. Like this sea turtle here. Sea turtles are wonderful creatures, and they have beautiful shells, but they can't retreat into their shells like a tortoise would. Sea turtles are thought to have been around for about 110 million years, and they live for about 100 years. They love to eat jellyfish and seagrass. They eat so much seagrass that they're known as the lawnmowers of the sea. And what's even more amazing, they can hold their breath underwater for about 5 hours. Do you think you could hold your breath for that long? Now, as I said before, the Virginia Beach Aquarium has many different kinds of fish, and animals too, land animals. They have about 12,000 different animals that they take care of, 700 different kinds of species, and if you combine the volume of all of their tanks, it holds about 800,000 gallons of water. Do you think you can drink that much water in a day? Let me know. The mission of Virginia Beach Aquarium is to take care of the sea life and to promote conservation, and let us know how we can take care of our oceans so we can keep having more fish and sea life is able to thrive. Just like this jellyfish here. Now, jellyfish are beautiful creatures, but be careful not to touch them. They're considered some of the most dangerous animals in the world because of how poisonous they are. Jellyfish are made of about 98% water, and they don't have any brains. And there are multiple different kinds of jellyfish. Some are considered to be immortal because they can turn back into babies and grow all the way back into adults, and they can do this over and over again. So really, they only die when they get eaten, or if there's a major accident, or if there's a lot of pollution in their area. Now this cool looking guy is called a scorpion fish, and you see those spiky fins? Be careful not to touch them. They're extremely poisonous, but they're really cool to look at. Scorpion fish try to match the color of the coral that they swim around, so that way they can blend in with their environment. And they tend to live close to the ocean surface, but they can be found at about a depth of 3,000 feet below as well. Now, as I said before, the aquarium is home to so many different kinds of fish, and they also have so many different kinds of people that come through to see them as well. In 2020, they had almost 400,000 people come and check out all of their exhibits. And as you see here, different kinds of fish can live together next to each other, even sharks. And if you watch Shark Week, you probably know a lot of shark facts. Well, let's go ahead and review some of those. Sharks don't have bones. Their bones are made of cartilage, and so it makes it easier for them to swim and keep moving around. And they have to keep moving in order to pump water into their gills so they can breathe. Because if they don't, they won't be able to breathe at all. Now there are many different kinds of sharks. There's great whites, there's hammerhead sharks and tiger sharks, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. Now sharks are dangerous animals, but they tend to be more curious. So if there's one in the water, they're more likely to bump into you just to see what you're doing, and because they want to know who you are, rather than take a bite out of you. But like I said, be careful. If you ever go see a shark, make sure you get behind a safe glass or you get inside the cage. But I knew my shark friend was going to be here, and he's a safe guy, so I went to go say hi to him. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about one more fact of the scorpion fish. They tend to stay by themselves, but when it's their mating season, they go seek out a partner so they can lay eggs. The aquarium also has this cool tunnel that you can walk through where the tanks are actually above you and beside you. So all the animals look like they're swimming above you, and it's really interesting to look at because they just flow, and the fish make it look so easy to swim in the water. Do you see the stingray there and how it's breathing through its gills underneath it? It's really interesting, right? There's many different kinds of stingrays. There's manta rays, there's butterfly rays, and they're beautiful creatures too. Just be careful when you're around them. They have a very long spine that comes out of their tail, and it's also known as a barb, and it's very spiky, and some of them can be poisonous too, so don't touch it. The aquarium also has a few amphibians as well. An amphibian is something similar to a frog, where they can breathe, they have gills to breathe in water, but they also have lungs so they can breathe on land. Other amphibians would be something like a salamander. And as I said, the aquarium has many different kinds of fish. Weird looking ones too, like this long-nosed gar. Long-nosed gar can be found in our area, in the Chesapeake Bay, in the rivers and some bigger lakes. They have a hard outer shell for their scales, and they have really long teeth on that long mouth of theirs, and they're extremely hard to catch when you go fishing. The aquarium has Komodo dragons too. Now these aren't real dragons, they're a really big lizard, and there's only about 5,000 of them left in the world, and they live in Indonesia. Komodo dragons can come in all different kinds of colors: yellow, orange, red, brown, and green, and they can grow up to about 10 feet long, and they're considered to be poisonous because there's so much bacteria in their mouth that when they bite you, it automatically all the bacteria automatically goes into your body. There's so many different animals and fish in the aquarium that we couldn't mention here. We'd love for you to come down and check it out because it's just a great getaway with either your parents, or you can go with your friends too. And they talk about different areas in the world where the animals come from, like the peat swamps where the Komodo dragons are. There's also a long outdoor trail with a whole bunch of trees and birds and rivers and marshes that you can go check out and record. There's many different cool things at Virginia Beach, and this is just one of them. So stay tuned for our next video of where we go next. See you next time.
Have you ever stopped to think how much time and work goes into having a good time? Let's take going to the beach as an example. You can't just walk out of the house and hop in the car, take a short drive and have fun at the beach. You have to do a lot of planning in order to have a great time. Well, first, you need to pick a beach, and then you need to pack. You need a bathing suit, you need towels, a beach umbrella, beach chairs, beach toys. You need sunscreen and sunglasses to protect yourself from the sun's rays. And of course, you need water and snacks for the beach. But that's not all. There are also rules you need to know, like how far down the beach you can wander, or how far out in the water you can go, and how much time you can spend in the sun. We don't always like rules, but they are necessary in order to have a good time. Rules give us boundaries in which to have fun, and they teach us how to treat other people with love. Now this is especially true of God's rules, a set of rules we call the 10 Commandments. There is no more important set of rules than the 10 Commandments. They were written in stone by God Himself, and they are the foundation for living a good life. Let's take a few minutes and watch a short video showing Moses receiving the 10 Commandments from God.
2 months after the Israelites left Egypt, they came to the Sinai desert and decided to set up camp at the foot of Mount Sinai. There Moses decided to climb up the mountain to enter the presence of the Lord, as God had special instructions for him. God wanted to make sure that the hearts of the Israelites remained faithful. He gave Moses instructions to tell the Israelites to obey him and thereby always be under his guidance and protection. To this, the Israelites agreed. There, after their exodus out of Egypt, the Israelites journeyed for 40 years in the desert. They quickly forgot all the signs and wonders God had done. Their disobedience and complaints rose to new heights, and their hearts began to harden. There on the mountaintop, God wrote 10 commandments that all Israel were to follow. He also instructed Moses in many other regulations and matters that would help him lead the people of Israel. If they obeyed these rules, God's blessing and protection would be with them. If they broke them, God's punishment would be upon them. These commandments were so special that God wrote them on 2 stone tablets. Moses spent a long time with God, and the Israelites started to wonder if Moses was ever coming back. With a lack of patience, these people demanded a false god that they could worship. Their wicked hearts forgot about God's providence. When God saw this, he told Moses to go back down the mountain and speak with the people. As Moses came down the mountain, he heard festivities and soon saw the golden calf statue. There the Israelites were, dancing and shouting before this false god. It was an atrocious sight to behold. God's own people, whom he so powerfully rescued only 2 months ago, turned their hearts from him and were worshiping a false idol. Moses was so angry that he threw the 2 stone tablets to the ground, smashing them to smithereens. How could these people be so ungrateful? How could they so quickly forget how God delivered them from the hands of the Egyptians? Moses went and stood between the people and shouted, "Whoever is on the side of the Lord, come stand with me." All the sons of Levi came and stood by Moses. Then Moses gave them instructions to take their swords and kill the rest of the people. Their horrific idol worship had brought a terrible sin upon the people. That day, 3,000 Israelites died because of their wicked hearts and dreadful sin. And soon God sent a terrible plague upon those that remained. Though God had to punish their disobedience, he still led them on the path to the promised land. His forgiveness and mercy still upheld the remaining Israelites.
Boys and girls, God's rules are designed to help us live and play well with others. They teach us to respect other people's property. They teach us to be honest and not to lie about someone else. They teach us to be kind and respectful to our parents. And most importantly, they teach us to love and honor God above all else. If we follow God's rules, we will become more loving, more compassionate, and more giving. And we won't think of ourselves, but we will think of what's best for God and other people. Rules aren't made to restrict us. They are made to show us the right way to live. God's commandments are holy and they are good. Let's thank God for rules and let's ask Him to help us live by them as best we can. Bow your heads with me, please. Father in heaven, we thank you for giving us rules to live by, rules that make our lives better and allow us to have joy and peace. We ask now that you will help us to live by those rules. Give us the courage and boldness to stand up for the things that we know are right and to follow those rules, and give us wisdom in the choices that we make. In your name we ask these things. Amen.
Hey kids, thank you for joining me on our road trip. No road trip is complete without a few songs to go down the road to. So sing this one along with me if you know it. It's called Here I Am to Worship. am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. So here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
Can anyone tell me why it is important to put on sunscreen anytime you go to the beach? There are no written rules about wearing sunscreen on the beach, but if you don't put some on, you can get a nasty sunburn. Sunscreen protects our skin from being damaged. It can save us from a bad burn in the short term and skin disease in the long run. What other rules can you think of that we need to follow at the beach? Swimmers should stay within 50 yards of shore. It is unlawful to swim within 200 feet of any fishing pier. No glass containers, no littering, no fires, no sleeping overnight. Rules aren't made to keep us from having fun. They are meant to protect us and make sure everyone has a good time. The 10 Commandments teach us to love God, to respect our parents, and to love other people. They don't keep us from enjoying life. They help us enjoy life more. Let's ask God to help us follow His 10 Commandments so we can be more loving and kind to others.